Hello, and welcome to the episode of Todd Talk. When Todd talks, people listen, hopefully. Now, before we get into today's episode, I need to vent a little bit. Something weird happened last week. Our last video we did was the Metal Sonic versus Zero reaction, and then we were doing decent views, and all of a sudden, one day, within the course of like 5 hours, because I check it a lot actually, um, we had a lot of views and a string of comments, and these comments were incredibly hurtful. They insulted me, they insulted the videos that I do, they insult the way I talk, the way I look. They apparently think that this hair was cut from a white man barber, their words, and so on and so forth. So I deleted those comments, so please don't go looking for them, because I wouldn't want you to go see them. I hated reading them, and it was honestly really, really insulting. So I wanted to make something very, very clear. The reason I do Todd Talk is because I like to talk. Okay? I mean, I'm a writer. I write comics. I do podcasts. And when I thought about doing this show, I just wanted to, share my thoughts about things, whether it be Death Battle or the Wonder Woman movie or, Mythbusters, Pokemon, whatever came to my mind. I do this because I like to talk, and I do this because I like to talk with people. I used to talk about Death Battle all the time with a coworker, but then when I, left that job, I had no one else. So I wanted to talk to you, the people, the ones who watch Death Battle, listen to Death Battle, love Death Battle, love hearing breakdowns. I wanted to talk to you, and so I do. And now this is my 55th episode, and I have 102 subscribers, so I must be doing something right. So for you people, yes, you people, who decided to heap all that dirt on me, what good does that serve? Who does that help? I don't do this for money. I don't get paid for making these videos. I do this because I love Death Battle. I love to talk about comics. I love to talk about cartoons and movies, and I just like to have fun. You're doing nothing. Seriously, you're not. So, and again, this hair has not seen a barber in months. Okay? That's my parents. They've asked me to get a haircut for months. So, just take your comments elsewhere. They don't belong on Todd Talk. Okay? They don't belong anywhere, because someone literally said that watching the video that I made them want to drown puppies. Get help, kid. Okay? Actually, it wasn't puppies, it was babies. Yeah, that's even worse. So, just stop it. You're not doing anything here. You're not helping anyone here. So, just take your comments elsewhere, so I can do what I love to do and talk about Death Battle, which is exactly what we're going to do right now. And funnily enough, one of those other comments was about me being a furry, because I love this matchup, which is Lucario versus Renamon. Now, there's a little bit of history to this battle. Screw Attack once owned a show called 1 Minute Melee. They left eventually, but one of those matchups was Lucario versus Renamon, and it was one of the few battles where it actually ended in a tie. And so this really got the debate going, because Lucario is arguably one of the most famous Pokemon out there. He's been in movies on his own. He's been seen multiple times in the anime. He was in Smash Brothers. And then you got Renamon, who was arguably, if not the standout Digimon in Digimon Season 3, The Tamers. And she created, this fan base and mythology all of her own. And so these two, they kind of look like each other. They have similar attacks and abilities, kind of, sort of. They have they're very much martial arts speed beings. So this matchup really makes sense. So for all of you people out there who say, like, why are they doing this matchup? This is why they're doing this matchup. And I love it, because my first Todd Talk was actually about the Pokemon Digimon fight between Charizard and Greymon, and the ascending evolutions. So going back to Pokemon Digimon is really fun, because I love Pokemon, I love Digimon, I love talking about this kind of stuff. So let's get to it. Lucario, fighting and Steel type from the Hoenn region, that we've seen him elsewhere, including the very recent Kalos XYZ region / show. Has been used by multiple trainers, has been used by multiple gym leaders, and as we saw in Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, very capable of doing battles on his own. I'm going to refer to Lucario as him, just because 9 times out of 10, it's a guy. Just saying. What makes Lucario special is numerous things. First of all, they're incredible warriors. As you saw in the preview for Lucario, they like to train. They like to harness their abilities all the time. But the other thing that makes them special is aura. Aura is defined as this life force slash energy that resides in all beings in the Pokemon world, so humans and Pokemon alike. And Lucario is literally like the only Pokemon that we know of that can see and manipulate this aura. This is how he gets certain attacks, including his epic aura sphere. More than that, he can actually sense other beings with aura, which is something we're going to be talking about later, so be on the lookout for that. But beyond his aura, he knows a lot of attacks. I looked up the moveset as of the recent Pokemon games, and they mentioned some of this in the preview. Lucario knows not just Aura Sphere, he knows Bone Rush, which is an incredibly brutal attack. Knows Force Palm, which is really, really epic. He saw Dragon Pulse. He knows a freaking dragon move. I mean, these are naturally known moves. Okay, these are not TMs or HMs. These are what he can learn just by leveling up on his own or with a trainer. He knows Extreme Speed, which can be very, very useful. He knows Close Combat, which is a devastating up close and personal attack. Now, it does leave him wide open to attacks if he misses, but when it hits, dang. He also knows a lot of we call status boost moves. He knows Sword Dance. He knows Calm Mind. He can also heal himself with Heal Pulse. He knows Metal Sound, which can actually like destroy an opponent's defensive stats, which is also important. And then he knows moves to counter other opponents, like Counter. Yeah, names. But he also knows Detect. So he can literally rebound a person's attack if it's physical, or just completely block attack by knowing it's coming. So he's really, really versatile. Now, outside of moves, Lucario is still freaking epic. Outside of his, I can see you no matter where you are. Lucario is incredibly fast. Lucario has fought very fast Pokemon like Blaziken and Pikachu, even beating Pikachu in the Unova League, fresh out of evolution. So you could argue it didn't even have its full power right then. It beat Pikachu one-on-one. So and we all know how fast Pikachu is. Lucario itself can move faster than the eye can track, which we have seen in the anime multiple times. It can run faster than a Humvee, which is very, very impressive. Its strength is not to be ignored. It can take hits from Pokemon like Registeel. That's pretty epic. Again, won a battle with Pikachu. Ash had to beat multiple Lucarios over his journey. So Ash doesn't mess around. He took a lot of hits from Snivy. Kept going. I could go with just the Ash feats, but Lucario is tough. He's a very, very powerful Pokemon. He's not to be underestimated. So the question then becomes, how does that compare to Renamon? Okay, Renamon, rookie level Digimon, first seen in Digimon Season 3, Tamers, and by far one of the most epic and boss Digimon you were ever going to see. Okay, I mean, just think about this. When we had Season 1 and 2, which we know which were literally tied together, it was great. It was really, really good. But with Tamers, they really wanted to break the mold. They took us out of that world, threw us in another digital world with a completely different digital world, and of course the human world. The first 2 seasons were apparently cartoons. I know, ironic, right? And so we had these preconceived notions about what a Digimon looked like, what a Digimon sounded like, especially the ones that come with the tamers or the trainers, or however you want to call them. And then out comes Rika and Renamon and just blows all those expectations away. So yeah, Renamon is pretty epic. And I refer to her as she, even though technically Digimon are genderless, I'm going to refer to her as a girl. If you don't believe me, look at how Sakuyamon looks, and let's just leave it at that. So Renamon, as a rookie level Digimon, partner of Rika, who is, Rika. There's been a lot of misconceptions about the strength of a Digimon, especially in the rookie form, because as we saw in Charizard versus Agumon, certain rookie Digimon don't have a lot of power in their forms. And I would definitely say that if Charizard went against Agumon, Charizard would have totally won. Like a literal one-on-one, like no evolution death battle. But that doesn't mean that all rookie Digimon are weak. In fact, there are some incredibly strong rookie Digimon, one of them being Renamon. Just like there are some incredibly weak champion Digimon, like, oh, I don't know, Numamon? Seriously, that guy is ugly. Ugh. But so it's important to note that just because she's a rookie doesn't mean she's not powerful. Doesn't mean she doesn't have, you know, the ability and strength to take out champion Digimon, because she does. In fact, she's done it in the show without Rika's help. Okay? Now, it's specifically stated in this battle that no tamers, no trainers, no evolutions, no Digivolutions. So it's going to be Renamon versus Lucario. No Mega Lucario, no Cubimon, Talmon, or Sakuyamon. It's just these two, which is great. And Renamon can take care of herself. Okay? Now, on her own, she has fought and beaten rookies, champions. She's fought ultimates. She didn't beat them, but she's fought them and endured their attacks. And she herself is kind of a feat machine, all right? She has defeated Digimon, again, without Rika's help, just using her claws. That's all she did. She just went swipe. No, she didn't even do that. She went swipe, and, you know, they were dead. Her Diamond Storm has taken down champion Digimon without the Digimodify. And these were powerful champion-type Digimon. So that just goes to show you the power of sharpened leaves. No, seriously, they're leaves. I didn't know that until the preview, and I looked it up. Like, holy crap, they are leaves. So yeah, her Diamond Storm is very, very powerful. Not that she needs it at times, because her martial arts skill is legendary. She has a variety of attacks that's great for close quarters combat. She even has the ability to channel fire into her palms and her feet and attack, which is how she actually destroyed one of the heads of Orochimon, who is an ultimate level Digimon. Now, she didn't beat Orochimon, she just destroyed one of its heads, so just got to be clear on that. Her speed is easily one of her coolest things. She just appears out of nowhere. She'll, you know, they'll pop on a scene, and then there'll be nothing there, and then Renamon will go, vwomp, vwomp, you know. I said Lucario is faster than the eye can track. He is, but I would argue that Renamon is faster than the eye can track. Okay, she wall runs. She willingly and epically just disappears from eyesight without even flinching. You know, she'll walk into shadow, walk out of shadow, and just be gone. You know, Rika once summoned her, and she just walked out of a wall. How does she do this? We don't know. She's raced up skyscrapers in a matter of seconds. She is just insane. Oh, she's dodged missiles. Yep, it was in one of the Digimon movies that, you know, never really made it over to the U.S. Which I don't know why. I mean, the first one was really good. Moving on. She fought a Digimon and killed a Digimon that was basically a fighter jet, and that jet fired missiles rapid fire at her, and she dodged every single one of them, and then killed her, hit it with Diamond Storm. So there you go. So she's faster than missiles. Now, how does this compare to Lucario? This is where it gets a bit tricky. And I mean that seriously, because I honestly think this is a closer match than people give credit for. If we're talking about variety of attacks, then Lucario has this down pat. I mean, again, he knows fighting type moves, steel type moves, normal type, technically psychic type with detect. He knows Dragon Pulse. I mean, he has long range attacks and short range attacks. Now, Renamon's no pushover. She has abilities that can even, you know, copy herself to send clones to attack her foes. She can apparently even, via one of the games, copy her opponent. Like, literally, like, reimagine herself as her opponent. I've never seen that personally, but we're just going to go with it. And for all I know, it might not even be in the death battle. I really don't know. But, you know, she has some good attacks, too. But I know that Lucario's is better variety-wise. Speed-wise, this is very, very tricky, because I feel Renamon is faster, you know, based on the feats that I have seen and I have researched. But that doesn't mean that Lucario is slow. And arguably, the biggest factor is going to be aura. Aura, as I said, is defined as the living energy within the Pokemon world. Renamon's not of the Pokemon world. Renamon's of the digital world. Does Renamon have aura? I asked this to some people, and one of them, very wisely, said Porygon. Porygon is a digital Pokemon. It was created in the digital world and brought to the real world. And so by that definition, you can say that Porygon has an aura. Now, obviously, we haven't seen a Porygon and Lucario in act, so it could be that Porygon doesn't have an aura, because we don't know for sure. But since Porygon is a Pokemon, and all Pokemon have aura, you could say that Renamon has an aura. Now, because of that, Lucario, as stated by the Pokedex, has a range of half a mile with his aura. And since there's no way that Renamon's going to run half a mile away from Lucario, he's going to be able to detect where she is at basically all times. Now, does that mean he's going to be able to block every one of her attacks? No, because that's not how aura works. And if that is how aura worked, Lucario would never lose a match. And we know he does because, again, Ash has had to beat 2 of them to win gym battles. But with the aura and with his attacks, I think he has the edge. Now, Renamon does have one trump card. As a steel type, Lucario is weak against fire attacks, and her ghost palm or kick, or however you want to call it, it's been called many different things, is fire. And again, it killed the head of Orochimon. So you could argue, that that attack would hurt the most. And if Renamon, who is incredibly intelligent, sees that her fire attack hurts Lucario, she would keep using it. But that doesn't mean she's going to hit every time. And as we've seen in many Pokemon battles, just because you have a type advantage move doesn't mean it's going to kill them instantly. Unless you're incredibly high level, which is obviously another debate entirely of what this is going to be. So, and with counter and with detect, you could argue that Renamon, once she sees that, wouldn't be able to hit him as much as she might like. But Renamon is just really, really good. I mean, again, I think she can outspeed Lucario. Lucario might be able to block his attacks, but does he have what it takes to get rid of Renamon? It's really, really hard for me because I really like both of these. Lucario is one of my favorite Pokemon, and Renamon has always been a standout in Digimon. But if I have to choose, and I do this begrudgingly, I'm going to choose Lucario. For the simple reason that I feel that despite his possible speed disadvantage, with his variety of moves, with his ability to use aura, and his ability to go toe-to-toe with Renamon. I have no doubt he can go toe-to-toe with Renamon, just like I know Renamon can go toe-to-toe with Lucario. I just think he has that edge between the aura, his variety of moves, and everything. This is a much more level playing field than Charizard, Greymon ever was. I would say that Greymon would kill Charizard no problem, you know. And that's not even counting Metal Greymon ever. That was just not fair. But this is a fair matchup. Rookie versus evolved Pokemon. And argue one of the best rookies ever versus one of the coolest evolved Pokemon ever. And let's just be honest. Do we really need to count Riolu? Let's just say he's a Pokemon. So yeah. So I begrudgingly am going to pick Lucario. Now, if Renamon wins, I won't care. Okay, this is one of those fights where I will happily be wrong. And like again, I was wrong in Android 18 versus Carol Danvers. I was okay with that because I had picked wrong. If that happens here, I won't care. This is much more than that because I love Renamon and I love Digimon. Digimon Season 3 was one of my favorite seasons of television ever. So there you go. So again, I'm just cementing it before I can back out again. I am picking Lucario. Okay. So let me know who you think is going to win this fight. Do you think Lucario will pull this out? Do you think Renamon will shock the world and win? Let me know in the comments below. And then let me know who you think is going to be the next battle. Because it will be a 3D fight. We are finally going to see one of the battles that Torian has been working on. We've had like 5 fights in a row with 2Ds. It's not happened in seasons. So I'm looking forward to that. So let me know in the comments below. So I thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I know you were listening. And I will see you around.